Hey, how's it going? It's Brian from B's Music Shop, and today I am checking out the Thneed from SuperCool Pedals. I kind of missed Jamie at the NAMM show. I wanted to check these out, and he helped me up with an email a few weeks ago and asked me if I wanted to try this one. And I love the Lorax. He speaks for the trees, so let's check out this fuzz together. Before I get going, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. Those things make a huge difference to a little music store like us. If we can get you a cat t-shirt, a cat toy, it's for your cat. A cat pedal that when you play through it, it makes your guitar into a kitty cat. That's for you. We also have a whole bunch of pedals that just have cats on them just because it makes me laugh. It's fun. Why not? Why have a pedal without a cat on it? Throw that thing in the trash. Hit us up, bsmusicshop.com. Your support means all the difference to us. There is so much stuff in this manual. I open this box and I have all these things. I'm still going. I'm still going. All this stuff came. Let's see what it is. I don't actually know. I'm going to drop my guitar. Okay, first of all, SuperCool pedal pick. I'm just going to put that right there. Save it forever. This is one of my favorite things. There is actually a little Thneed bag that has the art on it. I'm assuming maybe SuperCool does this with all their pedals, and that's why they're super cool, but I think this is super neat. It's just like a little printed bag. There's just so much stuff, I don't know where to put it. I'm running out of room. I get this card, and it says, "Thanks, Brian, for being a super cool friend and for taking the time to explore the land of truffula trees, swami swans, and barbaloots with the Thneed. I hope you enjoy it. I can't wait to hear what you create with it. Make sure to read the manual and to open it up to discover some of the internal clipping customizations too, if you're into that kind of thing. Thanks again, Jamie from SuperCool Pedals." And you know what's really cool? My name's also Brian, so like this card feels personalized. Teeny tiny SuperCool keychain. The more I say SuperCool this, I feel like I get the whole point of his name. We'll do the manual last here. I get a SuperCool Pedals button. The bag is so neat. I'm going to talk about the bag again. I still like, going back to the bag, I like the bag because I create a diorama here. We'll put the pin here. We got a SuperCool Pedals, SuperCool sticker, and we got another SuperCool Pedals, SuperCool. I don't think it's a sticker. I'm pretty sure it's a coaster. So let's put that here. And finally, we have our SuperCool Thneed instructions and product details manual. Let's crack that baby open. Hello there. Congrats on your super cool new purchase. The Thneed is one of my favorite pedals, and I designed and built yours by hand with the best quality materials available and great care. I don't like elitism. My wife likes to point out things that are underrated, overrated, in our zeitgeist, like Tina Fey, Star Wars, or the Beatles. It's fascinating that something can be universally adored and also make us collectively roll our eyes at its reoccurrence, simply because we grow tired of the reminder that it is in fact a great thing. I don't like guitar pedals. That is to say, I try not to give them more power or credit than they deserve. I spent much of my musical life just fine plugging into whatever instrument I had into whatever amp was in front of me. And even now as a more evolved artist who is fascinated by new tools and who is fortunate enough to be able to treat myself to them, I try not to fall into the rabbit hole of gear collector of literal and figurative echo chambers, as I learn to appreciate the finer details of crafting guitar tone. The Thneed is a culmination of the above statements. I never understood the hype surrounding the mythical clon pedal until I created my own version of it and realized that yes, it is indeed a great thing. And just like a Thneed, it is a thing that most everyone needs. The Thneed is my contribution to this ongoing mythology. In reference to its design, the Thneed is a nod to one of my favorite artists and storytellers, Theodore Seuss Geisel, falling in line with both the mythological aura surrounding the Thneed circuitry and visually as part of the Vice theme of SuperCool Pedals, which represent the significant iconic influences from my artistic journey and youth. I hope you have fond memories of the truffula trees and brown barbaloots. And if you don't, I implore you to shadow my own journey with the mythical centaur and pay a visit to the Onsler with an open heart, 15 cents, a nail, and the shell of a great-great-great-grandfather snail. I hope the Thneed brings color to your music, conversation to your pedal board, and joy to your life. Should you ever run into an issue with your pedals, please let me know and I'll be happy to service or replace it for you. Thank you for being part of my journey and for allowing me to be part of yours. Sincerely, Jamie Moore. What did I just buy? The Thneed is a highly dynamic and responsive drive pedal with a signature smooth and bright tone that brings your guitar to life. Despite its appearance, the Thneed is a no-nonsense take on the legendary transparent overdrive pedal that shares its name with a mythological creature, but does away with the frivolities like a troublesome charge pump and multiple op amps, and instead opts for a more reliable design that provides the same signature sound and tone of its influence. The Thneed adds customization options like selectable clipping diodes, a dynamically reactive bass toggle, and selectable gain modes, and both true bypass and buffered bypass options to provide sound options and alternatives that can satisfy even the most finicky of guitar chain connoisseurs and ears. On the following pages, you will find a quick start guide as well as an in-depth detail of its operation and many features. So let's check this baby out. We got our power coming in here, unless controls the amount of bass allowed into the gain circuit. There's an internal gain selector that selects the amount of overall gain control applied to the circuit via a set of dip switches. Output. Clipping selection is also an internal switch. A set of internal dip switches allows you to select between various clipping diodes. For today, we're just going to stick with the default. I don't want to tear this thing apart on camera and maybe make it explode. Gain. No one will make it explode. I'm just kidding. I won't make it explode. Gain controls the amount of pre-gain and clipping applied to the circuit. Treble controls the amount of treble added or subtracted to the effect. Level controls the overall output of the effect. This unit uses a mechanical foot switch that can either be set to true bypass or buffered bypass using the internal dip switches. The default setting is buffered bypass. And then in here we have the nerdy details. Gain controls the amount of gain, drive, and clipping in the first op-amp stage. The higher it is set, the more clipping and distortion occurs, although it simultaneously controls a parallel clean signal in order to maintain the classic transparent overdrive sound. Treble controls an active shelf-style treble booster cut, focusing on bright frequencies above 1K. Output controls the master output level of the circuit, and it can be used to provide a significant amount of clean level boost depending on how the gain level is set. Unless toggles the amount of bass allowed into the initial op-amp gain stage. However, unless is more than just a bass booter cut, it has a more symbiotic impact on the overall tone of the circuit, and its response and sound is greatly affected by your clipping and gain selections. And here is explaining the gain switches internal. Switch 1 is a lower gain setting, ideal for those looking for a less clipping and a more transparent boost and drive tones. Switch 2 is a high gain setting that provides a wide range of drive options from light overdrive to a more aggressive distortion. This is the factory default. Only one of the two switches should be engaged. Clipping section, internal. The Thneed provides 4 different pairs of symmetrical clipping diodes to choose from via 4 dip switches that have their own unique sound. You can even disable all clipping for a super crunchy op-amp drive with that as maximum dynamics. And it has red LED diodes that provide hot clipping goodness and are activated much higher in the gain setting than the other diodes, leading to maximum volume output and high dynamics. We have 1N34A, classic germanium diodes that provide a dynamic response with soft saturation and mid-range focus as it clips. BAT46, small signal Schottky diodes that provide maximum level clipping and compression, taking the Thneed from overdrive to full-on distortion. Provides a more scooped tone response. And 1N4148, silicon switching diodes that provide an all-around smooth clipping character with medium compression and dynamics with minimal tone manipulation. This is the default setting. And then there's the true bypass thing, and then there's the back. We made it. We went on a journey. I feel like I should have held it out so you could see it at each time, like I'm reading a book. I was reading a book. There's a lot of stuff in there. For today's demo, I am playing my Reverend 6-gun HPP Bees Music Shop Edition. Rail hammer in the bridge, P90s in the neck. Here's the bridge pickup clean. Neck pickup clean. You got it. It's an electric guitar. Well, wonders never cease. Let's kick this thing on. So leave this unless down. Leave everything else kind of flat. Just do bridge pickup. That's cool. Let's turn up the gain a little bit, though. Sounds cool. I have to crank everything. Who am I kidding? What does this guy do? So we turn this on listen. Oh, it thickens it up. I feel like I should be in a Lorax themed punk band now. Super cool. If I turn it up, kind of hit it. Let's do less. It's like a little funkier. Like. It sounds different. I like it beefy with the bass, but it really cuts with it. Turn this back in, it gets so much, it almost gets bassier too when you turn up the treble. This is a pretty straight ahead, great sounding horsey pedal. We'll call it a horsey pedal. Go for a horsey ride. No, it's awesome. I like the way the bass control gives it two different settings. I want to play around with it more. Maybe we'll do some follow-ups where I play some of the diodes and stuff and take this baby apart. But I love the art. I really like the SuperCool Pedals. Just kind of goes above and beyond and all the stuff they give you. Everything I hear, I've not met Jamie in person. I'm going to the Toronto Pedal Expo next week. I'm hoping to run into Jamie there. I think he has a booth. So it's going to be pretty awesome to try out some of the other ones too. I know they have pretty cool art direction on nearly everything, and everybody tells me their pedals are great, so I'm glad I finally get to check one out. If you get a chance to try one, I would. SuperCool seems like they are super cool and Canadian made. SuperCool Pedals are on guard for the Canada, made in Canada. When I opened the box, a little bit of maple syrup came out. I didn't want to tell anyone, but it happened. It can get you a cat t-shirt, a cat toy for your kitty cat, a cat pedal that when you play through it, it turns your guitar. It doesn't turn it into a Lorax, it turns it into a cat. We do that. We're the kitty cat pedal people. We also have pedals that just have cats on them because it makes me laugh, because why not? There's a bunch more coming this year, and there's a bunch out that are pretty awesome. Check them out. Hit us up, beesmusicshop.com. Thank you so much for watching.